Hello, it is Afi Edited and welcome back to another video. Today I have a special guest with us, Vladimir! My boyfriend!
Hi.
But yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself because you're the special guest here.
My name is Vladimir. I study law. I don't really know what to tell about myself. I'm pretty cool, I feel. I'm pretty chill. I'm very lovely to this lovely lady. She's my girlfriend. I love her a lot.
Thank you. I love you too.
And that is all you need to know about me.
Anyways, yes, he is my boyfriend. We have been together for a little over 4 months. Yes, it is a different setting in today's video because we are actually on vacation. We're in
Langkawi. Oh.
We're in
Malaysia.
And we're in Langkawi, which is an island. And we've just checked into this Airbnb. It's absolutely beautiful. You can see our suitcases.
Pull this up here. Yeah. There we go. Oh. So
What? It's okay.
This
I'll
is our
insert
TV.
montages.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, let's put us back. But today we're going to be answering some questions from you guys, which was around 2 months ago. I'm very sorry.
Okay.
So this is a long awaited video.
Didn't you say you were going to be uploading more regularly?
I did say that. Anyways, Frozen Whispers 777 asked us 2 questions. How did you guys meet?
Okay. Okay, so I will describe it from my point of view.
Okay,
So-
and then I will go.
So to start off, I was kind of in a lost space. Fast forward 6 to 8 months and I'm on Hinge because I was wanting to go on dates with girls. I really didn't see women in a very good mindset, I would say. I had 3 sisters and there's a whole backstory there. And I was just trying to go on dates to really experience, to kind of learn how to like women again. I then matched with this one beautiful, stunning chick. It's this lady here, if you couldn't tell. And her first message to me was roasting me. So that's wonderful.
I was on Hinge, but not for the reason that you guys think, for hooking up or for dates. I think I was over that stage a long time ago. But in 2024, it was more so I had downloaded Hinge every 2-3 months, less than 30 minutes to make fun of guys because I went through a period where I just hated men. I hated testosterone.
A period.
Period. But this one particular day, I got bored, downloaded a Hinge, matched with him.
Somehow. Somehow. I saw her profile. I was like, this is the most beautiful girl I've ever seen.
Really?
She matched me.
This-
Let me tell you guys, there's this one photo of her. Oh my god. When I saw it, I was actually there's no way I'm matching. And then I got you've matched with Afira. And oh my god, I was kicking my... How can I include that? Very happy. Kicking my fiance.
Yeah.
I was really happy. Yeah.
I had a different impression of you when I was on there.
Yeah.
He wasn't really my type. He looked young in his photos. He looked very young. When you had short hair.
Now I have arthritis, really, as I'm so old.
And then, yeah, that's when I matched with him. But that's also when I made fun of him. I made fun of his accent because he has a very American accent, despite living in Australia.
Yeah.
Did you come?
Yeah, I did.
And I called him an F-boy.
So I matched with her, and then she texts me, and then she responds going, "You give me F-boy vibes," and I was a bit taken aback, to be real.
It was just sudden, hey.
Yeah.
It was sudden, but he gave me a response I didn't expect. It was a long, he gave me an essay, guys. And I was like,
Why does he look attractive?
Yeah, why does he have some brains? Because he is very smart, he is very intellectual, which I very much like. It was a very surface level roast with a very deep response.
To summarize what the response was, I don't want to be known for that. And I 100% understood her point. The photos I had on my Hinge were nothing,
They were scandalous, guys.
Scandalous to say the least, yeah. I understood that, so I kind of just responded with,
I get why.
I get why.
I
And
understand.
then here's my reasoning.
But yeah, no, he went down a very, very deep route and it made him stand out.
But look, In other words, that whole rant that we just gave you was to justify us being on Hinge.
Because we hate saying, oh, we met on Hinge. But I was not on Hinge for
The typical connotations associated with it.
Yeah, and you were.
Not for the hookup vibe.
Yeah.
Right.
Just for the exploring dates with other girls.
I guess we don't dislike saying it. It's more so that we dislike the connotations that are added to it. But we're always happy to. I mean, any couple is happy to explain why they love each other. Let's see the next question.
Okay, this is the same question from this person.
Oh, wow.
How well do you know each other?
I think we know each other pretty well, you know.
Yeah, that's a pretty simple question. I think we know each other pretty well. Even considering it's been 4 months.
Yeah, I would say we're pretty good.
What are your 3 deal breakers in a relationship and 3 foundational standards?
The biggest one for me is definitely hypocrisy, where you meet someone and they set a standard. And it's a cliche at this point, where over time you will notice that they kind of are not with that standard that they've set at all. They just like the perception of it. Like any kind of hypocrisy really irks me a wrong way, and I think that's very similar to her as well.
Yeah, I think it's basically you're setting standards that you can't even
You're lying.
Own up to yourself.
Yeah. Second deal breaker, toxic masculinity, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Men are the dominant ones. That's masculinity. Yeah, that's fine. But when it comes to toxic, it's when they start
Imposing that standard on you.
Yeah, and they don't even
welcome you to the conversation of it.
But this guy here, he's a little feminine.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
Wonderful. To translate that for you guys, essentially she just doesn't want a man who restricts her. She wants a man that will communicate his standards, and she will communicate her standards, and both can talk about their standards. Like, let's say you're with a girl who's like in STEMs, who's a doctor. You know, very harsh conditions in terms of her rostering, in terms of her work, you know, doing 14-hour shifts or even longer. And yet you're going to tell her she needs to come home and cook for you. There's no communication there. That's toxic, and that's where the toxic masculinity comes, right? But the masculinity is still being able to be like, okay, like I want to be like the main bread earner. I want you to stay at home. I want you to take care of the kids. Like that's masculine. Toxic is then telling a girl that no matter her career, she needs to do that. Do you know what I mean? If you want a girl who is a doctor and really entrepreneurial, but you want her to stay at home and take care of the kids, like you're not just going to get that. You know what I mean? You're not going to get that.
Yeah.
Because you can't be like that. So I'd say that's the correct statement of second deal breaker.
Not owning up to your own standards, toxic masculinity, and one more.
If you cheat, like that's crazy. Like if you cheat, like that's a deal breaker. Like if she went out to clubs without telling me, like that would be cheating to me, and that would be like the end of the relationship.
Micro cheating.
Right.
And 3 foundational standards. Communication. We always talk about that.
Yeah, look, and we don't mean that in the sense of
communication is key.
Right, but then you completely not follow it. Do you know what I mean? Like I know people who are like that. But yeah, communication really is. See, come on, little fan here. Loki, that is nice. Can you do that for like 40 minutes? Then we'll see if you get tired.
If you have any problems, talk on the spot. If you want to be a genuine person, like communicate how you're feeling. You know, then that is the other person's task to reassure you.
If you've cheated on someone, like this is like a very iffy way to view this, but genuinely, your task is to just tell them, and you are fine after that. It is then their task to either forgive you or to be like, this is the end of the relationship. And it's your task then to be like, that's okay. You may go fight for it, that's fine, but don't go in with expectations. Don't be like, how dare you not forgive me this? It was just one time.
Yeah.
It's like the stupidest excuse.
Yeah.
And go,
it was nothing.
Right? It was nothing. Why did you do it then? Yeah. Right? It must have been something.
Right. Another standard would be
well-groomed. Well-groomed, I think, is a really good one.
Takes care of themselves.
Right. You know, so I would just recommend to like everyone out there, the second green flag you should look at is just make sure that they take care of themselves.
One thing that really impressed me with him was his skincare routine. Like
Okay.
Like I was like, this guy takes care of himself, and my friends also admitted that. You know, he's got like all the brands that us girlies know.
Okay. Point 1 was communication. Point 2 was taking care of themselves. Point 3.
Authenticity. I used to have this whole dark feminine energy thing. I'd revolve my whole life around it, and then being the it girl and whatever. But it wasn't really me, you know. Like that was not me. I think me now is my most
beautiful.
Thank you.
I'm authentic.
My most authentic.
But what a lot of people do is they just watch Andrew Tate, they watch, I don't even know any dark feminine TikTokers, and God forbid I ever learn any. They scroll and they'll learn them and then they'll act exactly like them. That's easy. That's really, really easy. It's a very easy thing to do. And I think the way to kind of test whether someone is actually truly themselves is to ask their true meaning on it. If you just hear talking points that you've heard on TikTok, that's not them.
Yeah.
If they can't think for themselves why they do something, that's a red flag, right? That's red flag number 4. But if they can genuinely, like, for example, when she asked me, like, you look like an F-boy, and I'm able to tell her, like, look, like, this is why I kind of portray myself in this kind of way, especially on a dating app like Hinge, then you seem more authentic. You seem like, okay, he genuinely thinks, like, about why he does these certain things, which is why I think she believed me in the beginning when I was like, we didn't really know each other, but I was just telling her, like, I'm on here only for dates. Like, I don't want to hook up or anything. And the fact that I was authentic led her to trust me more and believe me more.
Tips for a healthy relationship. Ego, pride, down.
Literally watch the 7 Deadly Sins anime, learn the characters' names. If they have any one of those, that's it. They have lust, if they have ego, if they're gluttony, so they eat a lot, if they're sloth, so they're lazy, don't be with them. Dunzo. But I do genuinely say, like, as much as I related it to the anime, just to make it a bit more relatable, genuinely, if they follow any of the 7 deadly sins of humans, even though it's like innately human to fall into one of those categories, I think there should be a conversation with yourself about how far are you willing to let that go. Like, I'm lustful for her, but if it's a guy who's lustful for every woman, you don't really want that, do you? Right? I am sometimes slothful, sometimes lazy. I'm lazy with her. If I'm by myself, like, I might take a day off, but I'm still majority of my days really working towards my goals. Like, she wouldn't really want a guy who just like sits all over all the day, and it goes back to that thing where it's I'm just scrolling on TikTok, I'm vaping. Like, no one wants that. I mean, you shouldn't want that.
I like that.
Right? So realistically, look at those. There's a reason that humans created the 7 deadly sins list, because I think that's a really good foundation for you to be like, okay, each one of these categories, how far am I willing to let them be of this sin? I think that's like the standard that you should realistically like outline for yourself immediately.
We'll give one other tip.
There is no one solution that we can give you because it's all dependent on who you are as a person. But if you take the advice of let me go on dates, let me just go for dates, let me just try to understand who I want to be with, and then let me go and research it on my own. Let me take what I've learned from those dates, let me be on my own, be single, recognize that I don't need this for validation, and let me understand what I need for that healthy relationship. And I think you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're a bit more conservative and you just choose not to go on dates, then 100% stay single.
Yeah.
For a long period of time. I'm not saying a week.
Yeah, right. Or even 2 months. 2 months is still a little bit, you know
honestly,
what I mean?
like 6 months to a year.
Yeah, 6 months is like a minimum, genuinely. I took 8 months off, I believe.
I did.
Results prove.
I did a year. I went on one date. The rest were like failed online talking stages.
And bullying guys.
And it's weird because I wasn't taking it seriously because I was like, look, I'll give you my number.
And that's it, and then she deleted
and
it.
then I deleted it. Like, I don't know what he responded with after. I just deleted Hinge and I was like, look, it's up to him if he wants to text me or not. And he did.
No attachments. See, that relates.
Are there times where you feel like this isn't going to work? And if yes, how do you go through your head with that? I think at the beginning, like a lot of girls go through this because of their prior experiences with all these toxic men or toxic situations. They are reluctant to continue a relationship or come with a healthy mindset. I did feel like that to start. It does come down to self-development and how well you handle yourself, but it's also the task of your partner. If they're able to reassure you, your overthinking, your doubts, I'd say 80% depend on who you're with. Thank you. Because if you're with someone that's like, don't worry, I'm not going to cheat, don't worry, I won't do that, blah, blah.
And they're going out to clubs.
Or just very surface level advice, they're not doing a really good job at it.
For me, like, I also had those reservations where I was like, I really hope this works. And I think that's normal. I just think that I agree with Afi completely that it's up to your partner to build the environment for you to feel comfortable to not have those thoughts anymore. You know, and she had communicated that to me as well, that, hey, I'm just like having doubts because of like my previous relationship. I really hope you don't switch up. And, you know, that's completely fine. The environment is me being able to take that within process it, and then return it to her and like, okay, I can understand that. This is what I think we should do.
Yeah.
You know?
Thank you. That's sweet. If you are in an environment and you're having doubts for a very long time, I just don't think that that person is for you. You should not be feeling that way in the first place. How do you go through with that? Communication and making sure that they're the right person to communicate with. What are your non-negotiables? You will say one from each person.
Non-negotiables. This is a quick fire round.
Yeah.
Have they cheated in the past?
Do they make their straps?
If they're like transactional, where it's like, I'll only do this for you if you do this for me.
Yeah, I don't like that. Like,
Okay.
do it because you love them, not do it because you expect something back.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know? And then, oh, you do it, and then you bring it up later. Oh, I did this for you. Or blah, blah, blah. It's giving people pleaser vibes. Thoughts on first date? Our first date, he bought me flowers.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to ask. There's one thing I realized on this relationship. I have never asked him for flowers.
On first dates overall, they're gonna be awkward. Try to have a fun time. Don't
Yeah.
try to make it too tense for the other person.
I think it's more engaging if it's activity based instead of just
Definitely.
dinner.
Or maybe even like for example, you take them out on an activity and then you're like, you know what, like, look, like I just want to grab a bite to eat. Let's just go somewhere chill.
When is the perfect time for marriage?
Look, there really is none. It just depends what age you are. Thankfully, we're pretty young. She's 20, I'm 22. But for some people, if you're in your like 30s or 40s, like you can get married after like 2 years, 3 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just don't think what you should be doing is, like, I've already stated to her, like, I want to marry her. I don't think what you should be doing 5 years into a relationship is being hesitant. What's the perfect time to get married? There is no perfect time. Depending on your age, you really have some leniency or you're very strict. It can either be 2 years, 4 years if you're in the older age, but if you're younger, you can definitely wait a little bit longer. But never be dismissive about marriage.
Standards, where I will
I feel like we've already
dismiss
talked about
this question because we've already talked about standards. How much have you grown from your past relationships? A lot.
so much.
Yeah. To be able to find you, I think there are a lot of inner work done and
Right.
a lot of external.
There's like no way I could have got her if you tried to set me up with her like a year ago.
I never had red hair though. I never had red hair. Did I?
Yeah. You dyed it for a little bit.
Not red hair.
I swear in your TikToks before, you used to have red hair.
It was blonde brown. Weird. Yeah, wrong X.
Stop. Stop.
Thank you guys so much for watching.
It was lovely to meet you guys.
Yeah.
Ish. I hope you can expect me a little bit on this page from time to time.
Yeah, we are long distance, so it is a bit difficult, but
We could do a Zoom
we'll make
call.
it work. A Zoom call. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and hopefully we can make more together. Maybe do some fun challenges, like little fun videos as well. I think that'd be really cool.
that'd be really cool. What the
Yeah,
hell?
I know, right? I hope you guys have a lovely night. A lovely. Stop, I'm putting that out.
Put a black square over my face with he did a stupid face.
Have a lovely night.
Yep.
Have a lovely morning, day, afternoon.
Wherever you are.
Wherever you are. Mwah. No balls. No, no balls.
I'm not saying no balls.
No balls.